I know Carp, you got a good look at the new Rogue functional trainers. What did you guys think about like the Rogue functional trainers versus Rep versus all of the other kind of? There was like plenty of all-in-ones, and then also some other just pulley systems. Did you guys have any thoughts on all of the pulley systems, and was there one that stood out to you as the best?
Yeah, I'll start off on this one. I had a story post about a lot of these this weekend. Um, yeah, so with Rogue specifically, I was unimpressed with their single stack functional trainer, to be honest with you. I uh, actually noticed like issues with cable travel when I was doing flies, like with the weight stack kind of topping out on the trolley. And I mean, I'm 5'7", and they had their 100 inch rack, I think. So I don't think most people are going to have the 100 inch setup. So I'm really curious to see what people with like 90 inch setups, like if they're running into that issue, with the single stack version. Because I mean, obviously, like if you're using both pulleys on at the same time, like there's only so much that the cable can travel. Um, for their twin stack that wasn't at Home Gym Con, I'm much more hopeful for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, can't really say, with having not tried it whatsoever. But yeah, back to the single stack one. I mean, that one I was really underwhelmed with. And then another thing I haven't really seen anyone talk about yet is their the adjustment of the functional trainer pulleys. They're using like their lever arm trolley system, so like it has like two different like pull pins that you have to do. So you almost have to use two hands to adjust it up and down. So I mean, it's fine when you're moving up lever arms, which weigh a ton, which you're going to have to use two hands to do anyways. But like when you're trying to do a quick adjustment, and you're used to moving functional trainers with just one hand, I think that's going to kind of surprise a lot of people also. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it was smooth. I mean, felt about as good as any other ones. Um, the Aries 2.0, that's the one I thought was the best one out of all of the all-in-one cable units that were there. Um, but I mean, the only other one that maybe comes to mind was actually a couple of them. There was Vesta Fitness, who theirs was actually surprisingly really well done, I thought. They had the Smith machine also. Everything felt really smooth. They had the like the handles for the functional trainer like facing the inside. So like over here on mine on the Aries, like we have the issue of like with the 80-inch rack, the plates will kind of hit the uh, hit the handle. Vestas had theirs on the inside, which I thought was a nice underappreciated touch. And then aside from theirs, I want to say Force USA had a really cool one too. That I mean, if you can get out of the home gym hive mind of needing to have 3x3 everything that's super compatible across the board, then Force USA is like I think they still offer a really compelling lineup of all-in-one trainers.
So Flex, do you have lever arms? Did you say you have lever arms?
I used to, I
Okay.
used to,
Did
I
it
hated them and got rid of them.
did it hit the cables or anything when you're in your on your Aries?
I got rid of them before I had the Aries,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
did not use those. I've not used them together.
I was just curious because somebody asked me that if you have lever arms, is the Aries or the Aries 2.0 gonna hit the cables because they move the cable to the side? And I thought that was just so they could get Jacobs on and off easier, stuff like that. So I don't know how it would affect
Hmm.
lever arms or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've seen some people like online that have had the rep lever arms and with the Aries 1.0. So I think there's just enough cable clearance so that they
Okay.
will work together.
Yeah, I'll hop in now. I pretty much have the exact same sentiment you have, where I was having the same issue with the Rogue single stack, where I was using it, and like some of the extras I was doing, it wasn't like completely topping out, but said I'm not really tall either. And I'm like, if somebody else like try to really go, like use that range of motion, I'm like, they're gonna hit that top of that stack, and it's gonna be frustrating. I mean, if you're just doing like just a front raise or something like that, it's gonna top out. Um, the the swivels on the area, so the new swivels for like the lat pull down portion. I thought that was going to be a little bit more gimmicky than it was. But I really enjoyed playing around with that, where you could actually like adjust it and like gotta go over to the left or right when you're doing push downs or whatever movement you're doing. So that was something that I didn't expect that I would like, and like that a lot. And then just like you said, Vesta Fitness kind of caught me by surprise. Their finished product was pretty polished.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm already in the Rogue ecosystem, so it's really appealing for me to look at the Rogue one, especially if now they have an add-on kit, and they didn't have it there. They just had the plate loader like you guys were talking about. But if they had like a 90-inch rack with the dual stacks, I would really like to see that, because I would even look at doing it without the shrouds just to save a little bit of money. I think it's like $300 or $400 without the shrouds. And then you can still get the weight stacks. And then it's kind of like, to me, it looks very similar to Aries. I know it's, they're different, obviously. But one thing I don't like about the Rogue, or at least that version, is you're doing lat pulls or low rows sitting on the ground. I mean, you could roll a bench in, but even if the low rows, you're going to be on the ground at some point. Where Rep has updated theirs to at least a mid-level pull. So that one kind of, and the bench can roll all the way into the back of the six post, so it doesn't get in the way. So that's one thing I think. But I want to like the Rogue, but at this point, I want to see what the newer versions come out, because those are prototypes, and they're not. I mean, they're selling them now, but nobody has it yet that we know of. So I want to see what they're like when it comes out, when some of these guys get them in and test them and review them. But right now, the Aries 2.0 has it for me. But I want to like the Rogue. I just can't right now.
Okay. Yeah. That was that.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Just one more thing I want to add about the Rogue One also. Yeah, would have been really cool if they had one of the Rhino integrated systems there. I think that was
Yes.
another big one that everyone, including myself, have been really really anxious to see, especially like if they have like the functional trainer like set up with that. I mean, obviously, you can already kind of set up a lat pull down low row with like the surplus setup, which I mean, so it's not that groundbreaking there, but seeing what they could do with the functional trainer, I think would be really interesting. And free product idea for anyone out there: selectorized belt squat. It's, I don't know how
Ooh,
you would do it, but if someone can figure that out, I think that would be huge. So
that
just
weight
throwing that out
stack
there.
would have to be like 10,000 pounds, though.
Yeah, just have it so you could add on add on plates. I think
There you
just
go.
for a lot of the accessory stuff, it does get really annoying having to load load up micro load plates on there. And you're doing 10 and 5 pounds at a time. That's where I think
That
the selectorized
is
would really shine.
yeah.
One thing that the Rogue One makes me think of is, like, if they had that 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have bought it, even if it was the plate loaded version, because they were the only
Hmm.
ones that didn't have some type of rear attached cable system. So that's where Surplus Strength and some other companies popped up. Even the dialed motion and stuff like that is because there was no cable system that you could
Hmm.
use on those racks. So if you were in the Rogue ecosystem, or you really like those racks, you didn't really have any option. The Slinger, but as everybody knows, that's not really a great option. So I don't know, what does that mean for people like Surplus Strength and stuff like that. Is I mean, because I mean that was their whole niche, is like a 3x3 rack that doesn't have a lat pull down. It's a solution, or a small footprint also. But like I said, 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have bought the Rogue system if they had it out then.
Yeah. I mean, I think like even the cheapest is $2,000. I think the mass majority of people, a plate loaded $500 UPS might do the trick, rather than just like com- completely turning your rack into a functional trainer and lap low row.
Hmm.
But I mean, you're right. You're right. It definitely opened the door for some other options. But I just think there's still a middle ground that somebody can take advantage of. Cool. Anything else on that topic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of related to what Carp was saying there about the rogue bench having to sit on the ground and or the rogue low row, and similar to pretty much every other rack attached cable system having to sit on the floor. So yeah, again, not really related to home gym combo. Free product idea for any manufacturers out there. Look at what ATX is doing with that really cool lap pull down low row. The way they have that bench that adjusts up and down. You guys can do a flat bench or even an adjustable bench that goes down lower to the ground, so that when we are doing our low rows, we don't have to be on the ground. I think that would be a big seller. So throwing that out there also.
Rogue
Yeah.
2.0.
Even like a mini bench that's like 6 inches off the ground. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
kind of like a utility bench.
I know
The
I've seen Matthew just use just the bench pad, and I've done that as well.
the bridge built bench, the one that folds up, kind of does that, where you can fold the feet in or fold the
Okay,
feet
yeah.
down.
Like in storage mode, but you can just
Yeah.
sit on it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, like
yeah.
crash pad sometimes, like a crash pad or something sometimes. But I'd rather have something ATX or whatever.